longing. I yearn to recapture the scent of heady afternoons when words were heard but were not uttered, the perfumes of a mother with her baby. Oh, if I could smell that scent to love again. I yearn to remember the musk of the first maiden, when no age at all we crushed in the old cushions, when words could be heard but were not uttered. Oh, if I could smell those scents to love again. I yearn to recall the sense of passing into paradise when Eve was ageless on earth and the apple blossomed fresh on every tree, when words could be heard but need not be uttered. Oh, if I could smell those scents to love again. I love the powerful smell of honeysuckle, crocus, lily, rose. Make my last bed up with blossoms, if you will. When words might be heard but cannot be uttered. But oh, the past, the perfumes of the past. If I could smell those scents to love again. You, beloved, whose beautiful eyes. You, beloved, whose beautiful eyes take in the world, turn and transmute mountain, meadow, stream to new images of creation. You, beloved, whose beautiful eyes roam a room, take a lamp, table, chair, reshape them in a new design to give delight. You, beloved, whose beautiful eyes find new colours, shapes and tones, repainting nature, making old shades fresh. You, beloved, whose beautiful eyes long ago roaming lit on me. Reshape me now, paint out my faults, give me the stance and tones of what I was, or what I ought to be, so when you give me back myself in the reflection, beloved, of your eyes, I see as always as we were, together, beautiful and blessed. Night noises. I like girls who like night noises. Girls who would not have minded how much Hercules grunted, or Samson snored, or Ulysses broke wind, or Ovid recited in his sleep, so long as they could share their bed and know that they were in a living sleep. And you, girl of my dreams, remember what noises we made, day and night we made, we made, we made. That's life. Aunt Emmy died on the lavatory, the outside lavatory at the top of her garden path. I do not know how long she sat there before she died, or whether or not her death was hurried on perhaps by constipation. And I do not know how long she sat there after she had died, or even whether or not she continued to sit there or just fell off if there was room, which probably there was not. Was it winter, spring or summer? Did big Uncle Frank eventually struggle up the garden and discover her there, dead? Was he first cross or sorry? He once, I heard, told a judge in the court, "I love her so much I could have eaten her, and sometimes I wish I bloody well had." Their separation was called off. And then, after all, she went and died on the outside lavatory. I really liked Aunt Emmy. Will and Testament. Loved ones, if I should die very suddenly, if one afternoon in winter, say, you should decide to iron by the fire and were to ask me, dozing in my chair, "Bob, where should I put the ironing board?" And I perhaps, rising to suggest a spot, should say, "Why not put it..." And then I drop down in a heap against the hearth, so sudden and unexpected that you would think I tripped over the fender or caught myself upon a corner tile. But you could not lift me up, and perhaps you'd call on a neighbour in the road to help to lift me, and she would say, "I think he's gone." And the ambulance men would come and hit my chest and press my lungs, and you would see strangers try to kiss me into life, but they would say, "We think he's gone, but we'll take him to hospital just in case." And you would wait, stunned a little, not quite knowing, not quite believing, until at last they say, "Sorry, he is dead." Then, my darlings, gather round and read. This is my testament. Do not weep and shout for me if I go swiftly in a lake pursuing eels or suggesting where an ironing board might stand. No, this is how I would have wished it, and I'm only sorry to give you perhaps a shock, but call it rather a surprise, because we all sometime must unwrap the corners of the final present and discover what we've earned. When I lie unwrapped, with all discovered, bury quickly all the old Adam which you find. Throw away the wrapping paper and say, "He wanted it to be this way." Advice to my son on seeing him with needle and thread and shorts. Sew up your flies, my son, sew up your flies. That way you will be treated as harmless. They don't understand that love will find a way, if necessary, without the conventional exit.